how you doing? Thanks so much for being here. In today's lesson, we're going to continue our series on improvising with the modes. In the last few videos, I showed you about the Ionian mode, the Dorian mode, Phrygian mode, and today we're going to be talking about the Lydian mode. Okay? Now, our Lydian mode is our fourth might help I learn how to talk. The fourth mode, okay, out of the 7. So we have the, let's say we're in the key of G, for instance. We got Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian. So Lydian is the fourth one right here. And if we were playing in the key of G major, it'd be right here in C, C Lydian. So you can see if we start with the G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, to that G, to that G, and we can continue to go on all the way to that G right there, okay? So if we were playing in the key of G, we would just have to know where our roots are, where those G's are in the mode, and that would really help us to stay where we're at, right? So when we're improvising in the key of G, we know there's a G there and there's a G there. And you can hear that major scale right there. So from G to D, we went from this G here all the way to this G. You can hear those G's in there, and that's what you want if you're playing in the key of G major, okay? And then you can go throughout the other modes as well. You could play in the Dorian, mode, the Ionian mode, Phrygian mode. Now what's great about the Lydian mode as opposed to the Phrygian mode is the fact that it turns into major because of the one note shift, okay? So a lot of people think that it's the same mode, which in a sense it is. A lot of the notes are the same, except instead of starting on the 3rd, which say would be in the key of G major would be the B, we're now going to start on the C. And because we're starting on the C, that turns that into a major mode. And what's great about this particular mode is it has a sharp 4, which changes it from the regular major. Like your regular major is at Do, Re, Mi, the Ionian mode. Right? Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. What's great about this major mode is that 4th, that sharp 4 changes it. Listen to the tone difference. Okay, so if we're going to play, say, C major right here at the 8th fret, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So the 4th is right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4 are usually next to each other, 5, right? But in this particular mode, we're going to change that. We're going to sharpen the 4 to here. And then now, instead of the 3 and the 4 being right next to each other, the 4 and the 5 are going to be next to each other. And it's going to change the timbre of the scale. Listen. See, that note right there is what really emphasizes this mode. That note right there, the sharp 4th. And when you're using these modes, you want to emphasize those things that give it the character. Okay, whether it be a flat 7, whether it be a flat 2, whether it be a sharp 4, whatever it is. That's what's great about the modes, is each one of them has a different formula, and you want to emphasize that formula. That's what brings out the character of the mode. So this one is that sharp 4th right there. So once again, let's listen to how it sounds regular. Okay, with the regular, just a Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Now if we take that 4th that's normally right here and we sharpen it to here, now it's going to sound like this. As you can see, it changes the timbre of the scale. Say from octave to octave, and then if we stay here, we continue. So if you're playing in the key of G major, I would start with that G right there at the 8th fret, B string. See how you can go from that G to that G? Pretty easy. And we know that's G because that's A at the 12th fret on the A string, right? So knowing where those roots are really going to make a difference. They're really going to help you out a lot in knowing where to go, and kind of like jump off points is what I call them, right? So when you're improvising, then you can just, go through the other modes as well, work on going through the Dorian mode, going into the Ionian mode. Phrygian mode is pretty much the same thing, except we're starting on the C instead of the B in this particular case. Like I said, it makes it a major instead of a minor, so that just makes it great. And emphasize that sharp fourth, okay? So that's first thing I would recommend is doing that. The second thing I would recommend is really knowing the scale pattern, okay? It's very, very important to know that scale pattern, okay? So if we were to play it in C, right here, as you can see, it fits right there in the key of G major. But we could also play it in the key of C major if we wanted to. We just have to change the root. Change the root instead of the G, we'd have to change the root to C, which is right here. Same pattern, just the root changes. So you can play it in both keys. And so what I would recommend doing is knowing where it is in each key. So pick a key, like let's just say the key of, like I was saying, in the key of G major, it's going to be located right here on C. What if we play it right here in E? What key are we going to be in there? Well, that's the fourth. And the third is right next to it, second, first, that tells us we're going to be in the key of B major. Okay, B major or E Lydian. If you're playing it right here in A, what key are you in? If you're playing right here in D, what key are you going to be in? Alright, so remember it's the fourth, 4, 3, 2, 1, you'd be in the key of A major if you're playing it D Lydian. And there's your A right there, to that A right there. So you can actually get quite a bit out of the mode if you just know where those roots are, If you're playing in A, use the A as the root. If you're playing it in D, use the D as the root, which is right here and right there. So it's going to change the timbre of it, and it's going to fit perfect in the key of D major or its relative minor, which I mentioned that to you before in some of my videos. How do we find the relative minor? Real easily, we just go down by 3 frets. So if you're playing, say, D major, and you want to go down 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, that tells us B minor, okay? D major, B minor. So your minor is always going to be down 3 frets, your major is always going to be up 3 frets. So I would highly recommend that. And work with either some backing tracks or get a looper pedal and create some chord progressions of your own, and then work with improvising over those. Because that's what improvising is. Improvising is kind of like making it up on the spot and not always knowing what chords are, that you're soloing over the top of. And so you want to really work on that. It takes time, okay? It doesn't come overnight. It's not something you're just going to have right away. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to work with it and work with it and work with it, and eventually you'll figure out your way around the modes. And also work on some of the other modes that go with it as well, because that's what really makes it work really well, is because you just master that patterns. You master these modes really, really well in any key that you're playing in, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, it doesn't matter. Any of those keys, whether it be F sharp maybe, B flat, doesn't matter. If you're playing in B flat, let's say you were playing B flat minor, okay? To find the relative major, you go up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, it's going to be C sharp major. B flat minor. And you can tell because those two chords go together real well. So if you're playing the, say, the Lydian mode in C sharp right here, you can just put those two chords together like that. Put them over, you know, record them with your looper pedal or your phone or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you record it with. You just pull out your phone and just do this. You know, any kind of rhythm that you want. And then just solo over the top of it. So work on that. Know what the pattern is. Okay, know that like in this particular one, this mode has a sharp 4, so you want to really emphasize that sharp 4 because that's what gives this particular mode, the Lydian mode, its character. Number 2, you want to know what key it's, you know, you're playing it in. So if you're playing it at the 5th position, what key are you in? Okay, if you're playing it at the 10th position, what key you in? 12th position. Pick a position, go back from there, figure out what key you're in. That's going to make a big difference. Also, the root locations. That's a big deal too. So if you could play it in that major key, or if you say, well, I like to do minor, I'm like more of a minor kind of person, that's fine. Find the relative minor. Find the relative minor, it'll fit, because that's what's great about relative, is if they fit, it doesn't matter if you're playing major or minor, they're gonna fit. You just have to know where it's out located on the fretboard. So work with that, practice. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave me in the comments below. You guys will leave me some comments on my videos. I appreciate that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, share it. Just let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. And next time we will look at our next mode, which will be improvising with the Lydian mode. All right, thank you so much for being here. You take care, and I'll see you next time.